Friday, February 5th, 2021. It's quarter till 3, 2:46 a.m. I'm on my way to the gym right now. I was listening. I have a bunch of audiobooks, and some I really like a lot, and then some I listen to maybe once in a while. And then there's obviously the great ones. And one of the great ones that I'm going back through is Think and Grow Rich. And here's the deal with why you should always go back and listen to things or read things that you read previously that you felt, let me slow down, things that you felt may have helped you along the way. Books or notes or seminars where you took notes. As you progress in life, you should always go back and read those things again. And the reason why I feel like it's important that you read those things again, because over time, in applying certain methods, you start growing, you start maturing. And when you mature mentally, the things that you read before now sound differently. Do you remember being a child in church? You didn't want to be there, but you heard the word. For me, it was, my head was always in my grandmother's lap. Like I'd always want to lay down. I'd say, hey, can I lay down? And she'd let me put my head in her lap. And I heard the word, but I interpreted it as a child should interpret the word. It sounded like a bunch of yelling and screaming and you better do this, you better do that, or you're gonna go to hell, right? That's all you take from it as a child. But when you become grown and you hear the word, it takes on a whole new meaning. And when you become grown and you hear the word and you done been through some things and you had to rely on God, it takes on a whole new meaning. So you should always go back and review as you grow, because it will unlock something else that will be like, wow, I didn't even know that was there. And so I was listening to it, and I think maybe my son was listening to it with me, and he said, life will gladly give you what you ask for. But if you ask for nothing, it will give you nothing. How often are we find ourselves complaining about not liking the way things are. I remember looking at my wife and I said, I don't have a problem with, getting low on resource. I said, because I know that God is always going to provide. I said, I'm just tired of it. I don't want to keep playing that. I don't want to keep waiting on man. I want abundance, overflow. I want there to be so much resource that you don't know what to do with it. And see, when I started asking life to give me what I wanted, then it was almost like you no longer had to settle for what life was just going to hand you. And so as I'm listening to it, that was the only part that it stood out to me. And it wasn't that I didn't understand that before, but that was the only part that stood out to me, that had me thinking at this point in time in my life, do I want to settle for less than I'm worthy of? And the answer was emphatically no. So if the answer is emphatically no, then you have to start making requests based on what you want. Doesn't matter how big they are, doesn't matter how small they are. But if you don't feel like you're getting what you want right now, my suggestion is that you make your request for what you want life to give you. Make them very clear. Make them very often. And let it be known.